Every day, the world's financial systems wobble on the edge of chaos, and the fear lingers. What if the next global crisis hits harder than anything we've seen before? For hedge funds, the stakes couldn't be higher. The markets are restless, tangled in uncertainty, and the pressure is crushing. Investors demand results, regulators watch like hawks, and the global economy itself breathes like a sleeping beast, unpredictable and maybe dangerous. The burning question is not if the crisis will come, but how it will shake the very foundation of hedge funds. Will it shatter them, or could it actually make them stronger, sharper, more unstoppable? There's a painful truth lurking beneath the noise. Hedge funds are caught in a relentless storm of change, and many feel trapped. The classic playbook is cracking. Risk models that once felt invincible now fracture under stress. Algorithms choke on black swan events no one could see coming. Portfolios that seem diversified crumble in unison. The pressure is relentless, and doubt creeps in. The anguish for any fund manager, any investor, is fierce. How to not only survive but thrive when everything is uncertain? How to protect capital that isn't just money, but future security, dreams, the hard-earned fruits of sacrifice? This is more than a market problem. It's existential. It's about power, control, resilience, and courage. The endless cycle of boom and bust exposes the cracks, and those cracks don't just destroy wealth. They erode confidence, identity, and vision. Professionals in hedge funds know this intimately. The pain of losing is raw, the fear of irrelevance brutal. The undercurrent that runs through every fund manager's veins is this desperate urge not to be crushed by the next meltdown. But here's the raw, electrifying truth. This fear can be harnessed, shaped, and transformed into the very fuel that sets hedge funds apart in the eye of the storm. Forget everything you thought about crises as mere disasters. The next global crisis isn't just a threat. It's an extraordinary, brutal opportunity. A chance for hedge funds to ascend beyond the noise, to recalibrate and redefine what strength means in finance. The game is evolving, and those who cling to past rules will perish. But those who dare to break the mold, to rethink and rebuild, those are the ones who will harness the coming chaos like a laser beam cutting through darkness. How? The first secret is ruthless adaptability. When a crisis hits, rigidity is death. But the most formidable hedge funds have already been rewiring their DNA. They have acknowledged a vital reality. Complexity is the new certainty, and static strategies are useless. This means dismantling old models not out of fear, but with fierce intent. They embrace volatility not as the enemy, but as a raw, primal force to be mastered. Instead of fleeing uncertainty, they hunt it, analyze it, and weaponize it. Machine learning, adaptive algorithms, multi-layered data analysis. These aren't buzzwords. They're survival tools in a world where information turns on a dime, and yesterday's edge is today's handicap. But technology alone isn't the magic potion. The next crisis will reward those hedge funds who cultivate a mindset not of conformity, but of uncompromising skepticism. This means questioning every assumption, because the system that looks solid from the outside is riddled with illusions inside. Blind faith in models breaks funds faster than market crashes. Critical thinking, relentless questioning of conventional wisdom, is what separates winners from the wreckage. It's a call to be warriors of truth amidst deception, to mine through noise and propaganda to find rare, authentic signals. This radical transparency internally, coupled with brutal honesty externally, isn't weakness, it's a fortress. The third secret that few dare to admit is the power of disconnection from traditional centers of influence. The next crisis won't just be financial, it will be ideological, political, systemic. Hedge funds that tether themselves too tightly to old powers, national interests, regulatory safety nets, mainstream narratives, will face existential blows. Those who break free from those shackles, who operate as sovereign entities with no allegiance to crumbling institutions, will hold the rare power of true autonomy. This sovereignty isn't isolation. It's laser focus on what truly matters, protecting assets, seizing mispriced opportunities, and preserving the independence of decision making. The future belongs to those who refuse to serve outdated systems and instead build new networks, robust, agile, fiercely collaborative, where innovation isn't just welcomed, it's essential. Look around. The world's leaders and institutions stumble, trapped in their own illusions that promise stability but deliver fragility. Hedge funds exist in this tension, exposed but also uniquely positioned to lead transformation. The crisis ahead doesn't need to be a death sentence. It can be a crucible, an intense, fiery forge that burns away complacency and reveals pure strength beneath. Legacy hedge funds caught bowing to bureaucracy, tethered to outdated ideas, will crumble. But those who embrace radical transformation will emerge stronger, sharper, with a level of insight and resilience unmatched in history. The path isn't for the faint-hearted. It requires abandoning comfort, shedding the need to belong to safe groups, and embracing a fierce individuality that is both liberating and terrifying. Yet, within this extreme challenge lies the chance to ignite unparalleled growth, power, and freedom. Hedge funds that master this art won't just survive the next crisis. They will rewrite the rules, create value where others see risk, and redefine what success means in a volatile, uncertain world. One of the most game-changing moves hedge funds must make now is aligning with the few who burn as they do, forging brutal synergy from rare connections. The crisis will isolate those who cling to old networks, but it will amplify those who cultivate authentic partnerships across borders, philosophies, and disciplines. It's not about quantity, it's about quality, perfect calibration between minds that challenge and uplift one another in equal measure. This web of complementary brilliance becomes a fortress and a launchpad, a place where misaligned talents convert into explosive innovation. Moreover, patience, true, almost unnatural patience, becomes a weapon. The next global crisis won't be solved overnight. Eternity always favors the long game. Hedge funds able to withstand fleeting noise, outlast speculative hysteria, and maintain their clarity under pressure will capture opportunities others miss. Discipline in holding long-term vision amidst chaos is not weakness. It is the razor edge that carves leadership from panic. This vision demands not just surviving, but transforming reality. Every crisis forces finance to reconsider what it truly values. Hedge funds that stubbornly cling to old metrics will lose relevance. But those who redefine risk, who see unconventional data as untapped gold, who integrate human intuition with technological precision, these are the ones who will build the future. They will create strategies that are not just reactive, but proactive, not just numbers on a screen, but living, breathing systems aligned with a radically changing world. The liberation achieved through this transformation isn't theoretical or distant. It's visceral. It's about reclaiming control, to be sovereign in decision-making, to operate free from the comfort zones that cage innovation, to wield willpower as the sharpest weapon amid global turmoil. This freedom means hedge funds evolve from followers of systems to creators of new paradigms. It's about stepping into a role few dare, the role of a true pioneer, an architect of what's next. The coming crisis exposes the lie everyone's been told, that safety means playing by the rules, that comfort equates to security. That illusion is collapsing fast. The few hedge funds who understand this will move past survival mode. They will thrive through embracing transformation, relentless critical thinking, strategic disconnection, fierce collaboration among the radical few, and unshakable patience. This isn't about riding out the storm. It's about learning to dance in the rain and commanding the winds. In those moments when the market screams, when fear paralyzes others, these funds will see opportunity as clear and sharp as a blade. They will disrupt complacency, challenge old assumptions, and build power networks that transcend borders, politics, and outdated loyalties. They become the beating heart of change, carriers of a new, more agile finance that refuses to be constrained. So, the next global crisis? It's not something to dread quietly in the shadows. It's the ultimate test. And hedge funds, those elite players who grasp this, are destined not only to emerge intact, but to set new standards of strength, innovation, and freedom. Their survival tactics will become the blueprint for others. Their pain will become the catalyst for rebirth. For any hedge fund leader, investor, or strategist truly listening, this is a call to arms. The crisis approaching will be brutal, yes, but it can be the forge that tempers the most unbreakable funds, builds the fiercest minds, and unlocks the rarest synergies. It demands vision, guts, and refusal to play safe. But most of all, it demands awakening. The realization that the power to thrive lies not in fear or conformity, but in fierce autonomy, relentless questioning, fearless transformation, and the brutal honesty to redefine what hedge funds can be when the world falls apart. The time to prepare is now. The systems are fragile, the illusions transparent, and an extraordinary opportunity awaits those bold enough to seize it. In this storm lies the seed of unshakable strength, the kind that turns crisis into clarity and chaos into a new order. Hedge funds that learn this will not just survive, they will become stronger, smarter, and freer than ever before. And that future is theirs to claim.